Hello. So this is my presentation for sprints 1 and 2. I am Tim Alec, and this is sprint 2 hasn't exactly finished yet, so we're about like sprint 1. I think this is like sprint 1.5 update. But yeah, I'm a part of Cityscope AI, and now we're going to go over my breakdown of labor. So the tasks I worked on and the story points. So the first task I worked on was adding the city bar to the 3D map. So this adds a city information portfolio to the sidebar when a user clicks on a zip code on the 3D T-bed map. I completed it, and then I created a new T-bed map to cluster 10 closest non-CBU zip codes, so that the cluster maps aren't so populated. You could really zone in on a specific zip code, especially the top CBU zip codes, because those are the ones where the most students come from. You'd want to know which non-CBU zip codes are most similar. I began working with the Mistral 7B LLM, which is available from, I believe it's free up to 1 million tokens right now. So I'm using the API to call it, and I was able to play around with it. And then I was also I had another task to implement the LLM into the 2D T-bed map. That's still in progress. Um, and then UI overhaul of the T-bed maps is still in progress. And also I worked on another LLM, the Fee 1.5. So this one, um, it's a bit more computationally taxing because I'm not calling it from an AI. I have to build it and run it on my CPU. But I discovered that that was too taxing on my CPU and it was too slow. So that's why I resorted to this one. And then here are all the story points. And here are the minutes worked. Total of 1560. And then here's the new feature demo. I'm going to show you the top 10 closest zip codes, the 3D sidebar, and then testing the LLM model. So to start, if I click on a zip code like 92308, it'll show you the little portfolio on the side. This has already been done for the 2D one. But then if I choose, let's say 92503, and and this is 92503, and then these are the closest zip codes to 92503. And then here's Anaheim. And then, so this map is what I added with. You can select from the top CBU zip codes, and it'll automatically update. And then sometimes there's no zip data available for each zip code, so I'm going to have to continuously scrape data for that. And then on the 3D, I also added the portfolio. For example, this is Fontana. And then the UI, I'm still working on it, making it a little bit more cleaner, easier on the eyes. I might change this and maybe change the colors, change the scheme, change the node size, something to do with the UI. Might make it look more modern, more easier on the eyes. And now if we go here, so this is, we're calling Mistral, where's the call at? Down here, Mistral 7B. And I pass in an API key that I got from Together AI. And if I run it, and here it says data saved to single zip similarity explanation. So I use the LLM to compare. So we choose a zip code 92503 right here, and it's going to grab the most similar zip code based upon all the demographic data. So it's just kind of clustering based on the whole data set right now, which is inside of census zip code percentages. And then it's going to spit out an LLM response as to why this zip code is similar to 92503. Now I'm trying to work to make it more complex, and perhaps it could actually represent the numerical values, so the user will have more of a better understanding numerically of the similarities and the differences between the two zip codes. But yeah, I was able to get the LLM running. I'm going to continuously fine tune it. Lots of prompt engineering is involved with this that I'm working around with it. But yeah, I'm working with the Mistral 7B right now. And I tried the Fee 1.5, but it took a while it took like 5 minutes just to get a response because it was just all on my CPU. Um, if I had more computational power, like the 4090 inside of the computer lab, maybe I could get a server running on a different LLM to call. But for now, I'm using this Mistral 7B, which I'm on a 1 million token limit right now with Together AI. And now for my GitHub check-in, I'll briefly go over my GitHub commits that I've made in the past sprint and a half. This is a sprint where I think I'm just adjusting names. Yep, just adjusting names. We add the portfolio section. We do some data merging on zip code just to make sure that the city and the zip code are merged because I had two different data sets for that. We define the California data, and then this is a callback for updating the portfolio and more renaming. And then we have another commit here where I just add another HTML div to select the zip code on the CSS on the dashboard. And then looks like I'm updating a callback here for if a zip code is selected, it'll rescale the T-bed map to choose the top 5 indices and then recreate the scatter of the X and Y coordinates for the nodes based upon the selected CPU zip code. Just adjusting names and values here. We're updating the graph with making sure that the selected dimension, I think this was lost. I think I accidentally deleted this part. So we had to make sure that the axes uh, change based upon what the user selects. So if the user selects economic prosperity, the X value should be median income, and then Y should be median home value, and so on. And if user selects all, then it's all the census data is being shown, and then just readjusting the traces. And then just some more adjustment of the selected ZBU zip handling, changing names. And then this is the file that I originally tested the Together AI key to call an LLM with a simple prompt. And then in here, I am using the clustering algorithm that I had previously, but I optimized it with the LLM so that we have a generate similarity explanation function, which is calling the API and um, telling the LLM what data to compare between the two zip codes, and then it's going to spit out a paragraph style explanation. You see in here, clearly define you should use numerical values, but right now, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. In my demo, it didn't. And then another HTML div. and then readjustment of the selected zip code all, and then this is just another one. This is a PR, so it's just showing all the code again. And then yeah, let me just, oh, I did it in reverse. Those are the new code highlights. Let me do the GitHub check-in. So you're just gonna see all of my recent commits. Main Vince is different than main. Main is kind of broken right now. But main Vince is what most of our code is into. And these are all of the commits from me. But these are the most recent ones for these sprints. And this is the end of my sprint 1 and 2 presentation. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good day or night whenever you listen.